Come on now, we're going to have a ball today. I'm excited to come before you. God has blessed us one more time. I'm Dr. Lorenzo D. Smith, and we're ready to make it do what it do. This is Hard Knocks Podcast, and our title is Focusing on Thriving in Life. This is PSW Radio, the number one internet station, and we're excited because what before you, we're sharing an opportunity to be interactive. So we truly want you to take advantage of that opportunity by going to our website, which is WVSW Radio, the internet station, 23.wic.com. Also, you have an opportunity to join me as a guest by going to www.riverside.com/WVSW Radio Internet. The link to make sure you hook up with me is https://riverside.com/studio/WVSW radio-internet. That's WVSW-radio-internet. Share your opinions, stories, and examples live with me and the world by going to Facebook.com, Big O Live, TikTok Live, and that's at Dr. L. D'Alberto Smith. Also, our second Facebook channel, which is Facebook.com at Zeta Phi Sigma Greenville. Super Live, WVSW Internet Radio, tango.com/WVSW-radio-14059, Twit at Dr. L. D'Alberto 2017, Tick Live, which is at Dr. Lorenzo D'Alberto Smith. YouTube, we have two channels operating, which is at Dr. Lorenzo D'Alberto Smith and the YouTube channel, the Smithway Enterprises. On-demand episodes, you can check us out by going to podservefm.com, and they'll be available listed on the WVSW Radio Alexis podcast, Alexis, Apple Podcasts, Edge, Google Plus, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Pod Paradise, Stitcher, Pandora, Spotify, and Amazon Podcast. Again, podservefm.com. WVSW Radio, the number one internet station, has listeners and watchers in 61 countries and on 6 continents. It's an interactive platform, allows you to join and be a part of what we're trying to do here. So we're asking you to make sure you put yourself in a position to join us. I'm enthused as well because we got a chance to share something with you. Again, as our title today is Focusing on Thriving in Life. Now, as well as you can register for WVSW Radio giveaway by sending your name and a means of transaction. The purpose of the means of transaction is for us to send you money. We need your name and the means of transaction. There are 5 means of transaction that are available, so you can send. So we can send you from $5 to $100. Bitcoin, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, Zelle. You can send it to Lorenzo D. Smith 15@gmail.com. Sow a seed with us, and all we ask you to do is hit the like button. Hit the like button. I see a lot of people joining us. Hit the like button. You got Lady D joining us. Thank you so much. There's Rika. Thank you for joining us as well. You said My Life, My Rules joining us. Thank you. And this is Takita Renee. Thank you for joining us. Lynn, better known as Helen Washington, joining us. Charlene is joining us. Taurus is jumping in here. Thank you. Trey Delta 05. Thank you so much. Shelton M. Thank you so much for joining. We got others. Just Samay joining us. SM joining us. Thank you so much for jumping in here. We have Kawatara. Then you have Elman T. Also, you have this is Metafiti. joining us. Thank you, Anu. Thank you for joining us as well, and many others slowly coming in. So let's kind of add some things here. We talked about the like button, but we also want you to monetize with us. You can through Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Big Old Live, Podbean, Super Live, Pod Paradise, Tango, Twit, and both the YouTube channels. You have a chance to join, subscribe. Focusing on thriving in life. And I want you to just take a minute and think about that as we do our monologue. We're going to want you to think about focusing on thriving. I didn't say striving, I said thriving. See, there's a difference. See, when you're thriving, you're there, but you're working to be better. Striving is trying to get there through whatever plan or prepared actions you have. So what you want to make sure you have, your focus is on thriving because you want to be the best version of yourself. You have a purpose in life. You know you're looking, you have a meaning for whatever you're doing. Your aim is for have personal and professional growth. This is your thriving. So when we start our topics off, we always focus on a definition for what is our highlighted subject there, which is focusing on thriving. What does focusing on thriving mean? See, focusing on thriving means living life on purpose and with meaning, aiming for personal and professional growth, engaging in activities that align with one's values and goals. Let's step off it. What are your values? Do you have values? And you must know what your values is, that this is a part of your everyday life. What are your values? What are your goals? Are your goals realistic? Are you understanding the values and how your values ties into your character? See, your values give you a chance to kind of upgrade your character. See, your values focus around, I value being honest with you. I value with the love that I have for myself. Those are characteristics when you're talking about a successful and healthy relationship, but you must have those things. I value effective. I value open and honest. You can look at and see as a value, and how you align that with the daily activity plays a major role in whether you are thriving. See, it also involves cultivating. Now, cultivating, as we know, is trying to work on it. Don't give up, continue to do it over and over, giving the greatest effort. So when it involves cultivating, giving the greatest effort to make sure it works, it comes in the form of you practicing to be the best version of yourself. And when you cultivate practice that promotes resilience, adaptability, and a sense of meaning, which all of this contribute toward the overall well-being, physical, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, socially, financial, and psychologically. Those are your well-beings that you must be mature and stable. It also adds to satisfaction. So when you practice promoting constant hard work and adaptability and having a sense of understanding who you are and whom you are, this contributes to your well-being being stable and mature. Thriving is not just about feeling good. I want you to think about that for a minute. Thriving is not about making you feel good. Some people talk about a vibe. Thriving is not about this vibe. It's really where you're putting the effort in to make sure you are successful. So when you're in a position not just to feel good in that moment, it's about experiencing joy and fulfillment over time. See, that thriving is all about joy and experiencing it through the fulfillment of your life over time. It requires a commitment. You need to make sure you have a definition that you see what commitment is. What is commitment to you? You cannot thrive and be in the moment and experience the success you're seeking to fulfill your life unless you understand that commitment is important. See, when it requires you to be committed to a continuous learning and personal development. As Webster defined through his dictionary, the word thrive as one, to grow vigorously. In other words, flourish. What you're doing, you're going to flourish. You're going to grow. It's vigorously you're going to do it. Next is to gain wealth of possession, better known as prosperity or prosperous. Now you have flourish as the first thing, prosperous is the second thing, and the third, to progress toward or realize a goal despite of or because of circumstances. See, the word thriving is characterized by success or prosperity. We have people in these days and time talk more about prosperity, meaning everybody can get there because we're going to make sure we take out the highest level and make the highest average level. So we try to create situations so everybody can get a certificate. We're creating situations for more the merrier. You look at all the changes that have occurred in our college sports. And in the college sports it started off with just two playing called the BCS for national champion. Then they moved to the 4, the college football playoff. Then they moved in the college level to now 12. So everybody complained that, well, we're not selected. We was the 3rd or 4th team. If you're 3rd and 4th in life, you're behind number 1 and number 2. And if you're number 2, you always going to be 2nd. How many people remember 2nd and 3rd place? Just because you go to the dance don't mean that you can hang your hat on it. You need to have that ultimate goal of thriving to win the dance. Take basketball. We just watched in both males and females what they call the March Madness selection show. They increased, it was 32 one time. They went up to 64. And from 64, they added 4 more opportunities. So that 68 teams get an opportunity to get in the big dance. See, we're expanding it more and more so we can include everybody. This is not so much of inclusive. It's all about being able to put yourself in a position where you can be the best version of yourself. Are you the best version of yourself? Again, the word thriving is defined as a characterization or characterized by success. While certainly financial security is important for us to feel safe and secure and to meet our materials and basic needs. Thriving is putting us in a position to meet our basic needs. See, we use that same thing because we're thriving. We want to pretty much in our mind think about not just our needs, but our wants. Many times we do that. We put our desires ahead of our needs. See, life gives you an opportunity. For example, if you have a job allows you to meet your basic needs. But if you manage your financial and be limited about it, you can meet some other things. You can meet some of your desires. But when we begin to put our desires ahead of our needs, then we have a problem. We're not going to be thriving. We're going to be just surviving. Now, what do you want? You want to thrive? Or you want to just survive? You have an opportunity to look at success or prosperity. You should want to focus on the ideal of thriving as growing, flourishing, being our best, being our best self despite or maybe even because the challenge we have faced have caused us to say we can be the best version of ourselves. Are you ready for the test? Are you ready to deal with life through each phase so you can have meaning and you can have purpose? Meaning and purpose. Is that what you're looking for? Meaning and purpose. So when we're talking about financially seeking security, and it's important because for us to feel safe and meet our basic needs, we must be financially secure. But before we can be financially secure, we must be financially mature, stable, literate. So let's continue to focus on the ideals of thriving. Besides growing, flourishing, being our best self despite, or maybe even because of challenges we face, we have to realize at the end of the day, life isn't just about surviving. Live life to its fullest, we need to focus on thriving. So we ask the question, why is focusing on thriving important? See, focusing on thriving is important because it leads us to more fulfilling, successful, and productive life. Thriving involves intentional growth, meaning making choices that align with personal values and goals. Let's take a step back. See, when we are not comfortable with who we are, we can't even make the choices that's needed to make our values and goals important. We want to have productive lives. One of the shows that we do on Tuesdays and Thursday at 1 o'clock is called the Dr. Lowe's Neighborhood. And in that neighborhood, we focus on Boaz being the best version of themselves. Because if they are the best version of themselves, they're going to be impactful men. So we've been working on a series going almost 3 years. And it started with building Boaz to be impactful men, empowering Boaz to be impactful men. If you're thriving and you focus on thriving as an individual, You find purpose in your life. You experience residuance. You have an opportunity to contribute socially. And all of this is essential for personal and societal well-being. That's why focusing on thriving is important. There are seven things you need to thrive. Number one, positive perspective. I see the good in the future. This is a positive perspective. Many research has shown that having hope for future, expectation, and optimistic attitude and positive views of your life or your future are linked with greater thriving. Positive perspective, which is in the form of an approach, helps you cope with stress, adversity by sticking with activities or tasks rather than quitting or avoiding. See, your character strength comes from having a positive perspective. See, the central strength here is hope. Keep hope alive. One of our fallen icons, Jesse Jackson, Rainbow Coalition out of Chicago, keep hope alive, which means to look positively toward the future, to set your goals, and feel confident you can reach them. The next thing, a characteristic or character strength, is honesty. It's important that we truly lock in on honesty. Honesty might be considered a secondary character strength, as we're talking about the various positive perspectives, but it means you have integrity. You have integrity with your values, practice what you preach, and authentic along with the journey forward. Second, we have religious and spirituality. I am connected with the universe is a meaningful way for someone or some people to cope religiously, having faith in a relationship with a higher power, having spiritual community, are connected with it. The character strength here is spirituality. See, spirituality is broadly viewed as having a sense of meaning and purpose in life, which may or may not involve formal religion. See, personal practice such as meditation and prayer, spending time in nature, and reflecting on the universe are sources of spiritual substance for many. Number three is proactive personality. I try to challenge myself. I look at my pros and cons and I say, how can I do better than that? See, proactive people seek out opportunities to be challenged. See, this is an internal desire. See, your inner self operates a lot of things in life. It operates your success, operates the goals, operates realistic. Cause your internal self, the desires and the wants and the needs, helps you to know how you can pursue something and to challenge yourself. A good example of this, found in some research, is teachers who engage in purposeful career decision making. They are more likely to thrive. Character strength here is bravery and perseverance. Those are two strengths. Allows you to face challenges and obstacles. See, when you have bravery, that give you that zest strength while maintaining levels of self-regulation, strength to take on light tasks and not to take on too much. Motivation is our next sign, which is seven of many ways that thriving and you can thrive. Motivation. I am motivated to grow. Research shows people are motivated by their naturally occurring strength, talent, and interest. See, these serve as sparks for fueling interest, growth, and learning. Thriving in the workplace is connected with the work that is the strength of your character, curiosity, and love of learning. They are central to our pursuit of knowledge, ideals, and the development of new skills. See, individuals can turn to their highest strength, signature strength, or as a central source of personal motivation to take action in relationship, work, and play. Number 5 is knowledge and learning. I learn, therefore I know. The desire and the commitment to learn is important to thriving, not just for certain people, but across groups of people. The knowledge and learning is creativity, appreciation of excellence, and especially love of learning. Psychological residuum. Rise up like the phoenix and benefit from my struggles. See, when stress and adversity arise, those who thrive are able to be flexible, adaptable, and even benefit from the problem. The idea here is to move beyond surviving to thriving. The character strength here is gratitude, hope, forgiveness, spirituality, curiosity, and kindness. Social competency. It matters that I can connect with others. An important enabler of thriving is to access others, connect with them, and benefit from the social support. The building of social competency matters here when we're talking about working with others and supporting others, connecting with others, such as skills of peaceful conflict resolution, awareness, appreciation of other cultures, and interpersonal skills. The character strength here is social intelligence, social eye, helps us assess situation and people and respond appropriately. It serves as a sense of understanding ourselves within. Just remember, the 7 ways of thriving allows us to be exposed to the spirit of cooperation and connection. Another importance here of strength of love, which involves bonding with others, being warm and genuine with them, and receiving the care and support. It's all about leadership, fairness, and teamwork. And they're so important to building social competency. Why does thriving is important in our life? Or why does it matter? It matters because despite decades of economic growth, 100 miles of people still struggling globally to meet the basic physical need. In many ways, more can only do so by working long hours. Or in the other way, the degrade that allows in our life, millions of us are still struggling, can't afford a social life, risk becoming isolated, socially excluded. But we always have to keep in mind, it matters because we want to be the best version of ourselves. This is WBSW Radio, the #1 internet station. I'm Dr. Lorenzo D. Smith. It's so excited to come before you. This is Hard Knock Podcast, where we just focus on being real, being raw, and just bringing life to you. Hard Knocks. That is just what we're going to focus on, grassroots. We're going to start at home, making sure we're in order in our home before we go out and press on other people to do a little different. We must put ourselves in positions to be successful. And that's why we talk about thriving. That's why we talk about what makes a person thrive. We have to ask ourselves, what makes a person thrive to be the best version of themselves? See, thriving involves more than just our individual self-centered state of mind and conditions. Often discussion of happiness and thriving is inwardly focused. Equally important is how we interact with others. How do you interact with others? Our community. And the impact we have on those in our community. What makes a person thrive? Self-interest. It's a big part of our nature. It is most often or default state under stress. It's not bad. Basic needs are unlikely to be met without self-interest. But what about our role in the well of others? Can we thrive if others are not? Thriving needs to incorporate our effects on others, because we live not as isolated individuals, but a part of a community. Aristotle noted, man is by nature a social animal. An individual who is unsocial naturally and not accidentally is either beneath our notice or more than human. Society is something that precedes the individual. That's why we say you have order you need to follow in your own home. Never let one overshadow the other one. At the top, we're going to talk about spiritual, God, family, work, community. If you're going to thrive, you must follow that order. You cannot succeed unless you follow that order. When you put work before God, you no longer may have that job. You put the community before your family, you won't have that family. You have to follow the order because it helps you with your self-interest, help you be successful. See, we have evolved as a social animal. Even the most extreme back to the earth hermit depends on others to live. See, a significant part of our relationship with our community is economics. Much of our economics is centered around those individuals in our communities. And we have to make sure we understand we all have a purpose. We must understand what motivates us, how we contribute. We got to remember what benefit others will benefit you. Not all work is beneficial to society. Always keep that in mind. Closely to relate to work is achievement. See, you work to achieve goals, personal and professionally, because you receive growth. See, achievement comes in many forms and range from building a successful company to coaching a winning youth soccer team to passing a badly needed public policy change. This is what we're talking about, work and achievement. There are some myth that's out there that has colored our thinking. It's about thriving. Number one, thriving is always about vigorous individual growth. While thriving involves growth and development, not all growth is good growth. Moreover, continuous, vigorous growth is neither realistic nor sustainable. See, life involves joys and disappointment, losses and triumphs. While there will be times of vigorous growth in life, thriving is more about intentional growth. Be intentional about growing. That's like in a relationship, you must be intentional. If you want a successful relationship, you need to let people know. And if they don't meet it, you need to move on from them. So intentional growth. See, in order to thrive, we must cultivate practice, become more down, and work hard, coherent life in spite of the circumstances we may experience. We're all going to experience challenges, but just keep in mind, thriving is always not about individual growth. Thriving is making sure we all grow. The second myth, thriving is just about our spirituality and faith. We recognize the goodness of God's creation. The goodness includes our bodies and our relationship with one another. The natural order. Thriving involves becoming one's best self with and for others while participating in God's ongoing work in this world. Number 3, thriving is the pursuit of happiness. We know that's a myth. Pleasant experience that produce happiness comes and goes. Happiness comes and goes. So it's not all about your happiness, because your happiness comes and goes. Since we have these feelings of happiness, see, happiness occurs in the moment. While being happy is a part of thriving. The pursuit is not enough to support thriving. Thriving is more purposefully. Come on now. All right. And it don't have to get any better. It's perfect, you in my life.